Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, showing you the drawer, you know what time of the week it is. It's the Shop My Stash. Like I've said in the previous video, this Shop My Stash ran for 3 weeks this time, just because it's been so hot in the UK and I haven't been wearing much makeup, and I wanted to give my makeup that I did pull in the last Shop My Stash quite enough time for me to test it and see if I liked it, or if I was going to declutter anything from that makeup stash. I don't think I am this time. It was all higher end Shop My Stash items, so I don't think I'm going to be decluttering anything. I'm just going to show you what's in the drawer, because all this stuff here I've not used. This always stays the same. There's lip balms in there and things like that. I only really use this when my lips get drier. And then we've got some like Colourpop Super Shock Shadows and my Australis ones. I didn't use them either. Didn't use this blush, but I think I'm going to keep it in anyway, because the Shop My Stash is only going to go up on Monday, and I should be able to get to this tomorrow. Either this one or the Dior one. I think it's called Rosy Glow. Whoops, I didn't use that one either. Yeah, it's called Rosy Glow. So I've still got another day to play with makeup, but I wanted to film this today, ready to go up on Monday, because it takes forever to edit. Like I said in the last one, I wasn't planning on using Carnival Crush. I might use it this next time. It's just going to stay there until I use it. This one here, I forgot to tell you last time, I'm actually going to declutter it. Let's see if I can open it. Get in there. Right, so that's what it looks like, and it really is a pretty palette, but the only shade I really like is this coral. That bronzer shade is too dark, so I'm going to give that away, probably to my niece, see if she wants that. I'll just put that back there. The Charlotte Tilbury quads didn't get used, they can stay in. All this can stay in. So yeah, that's that. And then we've got the bulk of the makeup in this really nice makeup bag here. So I used this as bronzer, Too Faced, I think it's Milk Chocolate, isn't it? Yeah, Milk Chocolate Soleil. I absolutely adore this bronzer. It's so nice. Excuse me, I'm choking again. I think it's hay fever or something, because I was choking in the last video as well. So yeah, really enjoyed using this, but it's going back because I have used it for 3 weeks solid. So yeah, every time I use this bronzer, I was saying this every time I use it, basically chocolate goes in my mouth, which isn't a bad thing, but I mean, it can't be that good for you either, but it tastes really nice. So yeah, there's that. Then I've got a highlighter by MAC. Really like this. It's the MAC Beaming Blush. That can go back as well. Foundation wise is this one that I've been using for 3 weeks, and it's the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid in the shade 03 True Ivory. I really enjoyed this, and even though you can't tell at the moment, no more foundations coming out of it, you can see the windows, it's just completely gone, which I'm quite sad about, because I really like it. It gives you a really nice dewy finish. So yeah, that needs to go into the empties. I'll talk more about that in my next project pan as well, even though it wasn't a project pan item. We'll talk about that there. Then I've got this Illamasqua Blush Duo in the shade Lover and Hussy. Really like this. I can't get it open, but what I did is mix them both together. I used this a few times. I did pull too many things. I've got another highlighter by Dior which is in the shade 002. It's the Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizer. I absolutely love this. And I also love the Too Faced one, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm not going to open all the products because I'll be here for an eternity. This Hourglass blush is probably one of my favourite blushes, and this one is in Dim Infusion. Really pretty. Can't get it open. I've also been using this Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. Really like it, and I showed this in my project pan, but I'm nearly out of, I think it's the dim light. Can you see how there's hardly any left? So I'm really trying to scrape that powder out just so I've used it all. Yeah, it was dim light. I use this constantly. I've had this probably about 2 or 3 months now, and there's barely any left. I highly recommend it. It's like £2.99 from Home Bargains. Another blush I love to use is this NARS Orgasm. I'm wearing this today. It is one of my slightly older blushes. Comes with an insert. This one was one of those limited editions one which they made in a bigger pan, so it comes in an insert with an insert like that, and I can't bring myself to get rid of that insert. It's so cute. Okay, so I can't get it out to show you what the actual blush looks like. So I do want to use this more because it is getting slightly older. You can see it in the pan, but it did cost quite a bit, so I do want to use it, and it is quite pigmented still, so I'll use it while I can. For powders, I pulled this Laura Mercier. Why won't it focus? Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder in number 1. So yeah, I pulled that. To be honest, I don't know if I'm enjoying this. This was for my under eye, sorry, I should have said that. Yeah, it's for my under eye, and I don't know if I'm enjoying that, so it's going back anyway. The other powder that I used all over my face was this Too Faced Ethereal, Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. Now this is going to be quite a bold claim that I make here. I think this is my favourite powder in my powder collection, and I've got quite a few powders, but they are all drugstore. This one just seems to leave, no matter what foundation I'm wearing, it seems to leave my makeup so flawless and give me quite a dewy finish as well. So yeah, I really like that, but that's going back. This Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar, I barely used it, so I want to keep it out for another rotation. I'll just tell you what shades I have used. I've used Coconut Cream, that ivory shade there. I've used Nugget, I'm wearing that today. I've used Peanut Butter. I was using peanut butter with another palette, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I've used Blueberry Swirl, I'm also wearing that today, and also Butter Pecan as a highlight, inner corner highlight. I'm wearing that today as well, so that's definitely going to be staying out for another rotation. Then I've got this Revolution and Imagination palette. I use this every single day just for what's it called, My Guile, that light banana shade there, just because I want to get rid of that. So that's the powder that I'm working on. I haven't really used literally a lot, so I need to start using that a lot more. This was the other highlighter that I really like. I mean, if it was a choice between keeping this one and keeping the Dior one, I wouldn't be able to decide, just because I love them probably about the same. They are slightly different in tone. This one is Too Faced Love Light, Blinded by the Light, and you can just look at it. I mean, I've worn the writing off at the back. Then I brought this in. I went out one night and I wanted I wanted to bring this in because I absolutely love Solstice. So I wore this one night, and that's why that's in there, and it wasn't in the last Shop My Stash. I've been using this just for the inner corner. It's the Stila Smudge Pot in Kitten. And then I was using this concealer. Sorry, I was using this concealer just because I didn't have a higher end one. And because I ran out of foundation today, I had to bring this in. I'm going to be using this in the next fortnight anyway. It's the Bourjois City Radiance. So I'll just put that where foundations normally go. Another bronzer that I pulled was the Ciate and Olivia Palermo bronzer and blusher duo, and I really like it. I didn't think I'd like the blush, but I do. Let's see if I can open it. No, I'm having trouble opening that. I'll show you that at the end of the video, what that looks like. It's really nice though. I didn't use this Stila eyeshadow. It's in the shade Metallic Laurel. Use this quite a lot. Tartelette Tease, just mainly for the Whisper Ivory shade that's in there. Use this a couple of times so that can go back. It's in the shade 05 Lovely Pink. This can go back in my drawer. I did use this quite a few times. It's a Too Faced Love Flush Love Hangover blusher. That can go back in the drawer. Didn't use this at all, so that can go in my powder drawer. Use this Becca highlight. I thought I'd be getting rid of this, but it looks quite nice. It is slightly too dark for me. It's in the shade Opal, but if I go in with a lighter one on top, it looks quite nice paired together with that. Use this constantly, and it's the Benefit duo. You get a Boyne concealer and also a brightener, so use that every day. That can just stay in there. Use this a couple of times, not many. It's just my brow products. This is the primer that I was using this time as well. There's still a little bit left, so I'll put that back in the collection. And then we've just got like mascara and a few eyeliners. So we've got this Roller Lash. I use this constantly every day. I don't like opening too many, so I use one, and then when that's done I will go and use another one. I didn't use this. I didn't need to use it because I have concealers open, but it's just like a MAC paint pot, so I'm going to keep it in here because I've actually used the two concealers that were in my project pan, which I'll talk about in the next update. I've spoke about the Maybelline Fit Me one, that was done this time, but also I had a L'Oreal True Match, and that's also been done as well. So yeah, I'll probably use that from now on. Just leave that in there. A brow product I have been using almost every day is this Technique Brow Gel. It's really good, so yeah, I'll leave that in. And then we've got two liners that I've been trying to use every day. There's this Silky Nude eyeliner, which I do use every day, and then there's this one for when I use nude lipsticks. It's by Colourpop and Aquarius. I just want to get these out of the collection, especially this one, just because it is a little bit older. And then I have this Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue. I'll leave that in as well because I do use glitter eyeshadows quite a bit. So these are all the products. Oh, actually, I've not shown you the eyeshadow palettes, so I'll just pop that somewhere. So the eyeshadow palettes that I pulled last month was this one. Whoops, everything's falling. Right, so the Balm Appetit. I absolutely love this palette. Right, so then it says Eat Your Heart Out. So I used the top two rows. I didn't use the bottom row because I don't go in for those silver smoky eyeshadows unless it's for a particular look. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that one, so I'm going to keep that in the collection. I also use this Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne, what's this one called? Beauty Beam highlighter palette a few times. This one can go back. So that looks like that. And I pulled that because I was pulling the Kristen Leanne, Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne eyeshadow palette, and oh my gosh, I absolutely adore this palette, guys. It is so pretty. I know a lot of you didn't like it and complained about it just because of the shapes and sizes of the eyeshadows, and I agree with you to an extent. They could have probably got more shades in, but I actually got this on sale, so I can't really be choosy saying, you know, I don't like it. I just love it. I haven't used the black, and I'm not too keen on that purple there. Is it dye? I wore that yesterday. But all the other shades in here I absolutely love. I love that lime green. I love that duo Leo and Brixton there. Love that Stay Gold. Love those two blues. I love pretty much at least a good 95-96% of this palette. It's actually more than that, considering I don't. The only shade really, if you was to push me, is the black, but I feel like every eyeshadow palette needs a good black. I mean, I can wear that dye shade, but it's not my favourite out of the palette. But yeah, this is going back into the collection. Another palette I've used a few times is this Becca Blush with Light. I really like this, but I have only been using one blusher in it, that one there, and you can see it's got hard pan or something on it. But yeah, I mean, I love these glowy blushers, so yeah, really like that. That's in the shade Snapdragon. Then the other palette I've been using quite a bit is this Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow. So all these items can go back, apart from this Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. I'm probably going to pull another couple of palettes. I want to pull one from here, Deck of Scarlet, because they never get used. And then I've got one in the drawer that I want to pull as well. These lipsticks, there's some in my rucksack, but these lipsticks were also being used for this fortnight Shop My Stash. I'm not going to talk about them because I want to do a lipstick edit on them with all the swatches, so you can see that. But yeah, this is the entire makeup I was working with, which is a lot, and a lot of it got used. All this got used, apart from that, I think. But yeah, we're going to stop this video here. I'll put all this away, and then I'll tell you what I'm picking for this upcoming Shop My Stash. Right, so this is the duo I was talking about earlier, the Ciate and Olivia Palermo duo. So you can tell that I've obviously used the bronzer quite a bit, but I didn't really use the blusher. And the blusher is really nice. So yeah, this is definitely staying in my collection. And how bougie is that packaging? I got this ages ago from TK Maxx. I don't know if I told you earlier. Yeah, it's in the shade Bluff Point. So yeah, I got it from TK Maxx and it was really inexpensive. I think about either $5.99 or $6.99. And then I went to look on the website and it was like £20. So I got a real bargain there. So yeah, let's go to the drawers now before this video gets extremely long. I mean, it was already on 18 minutes when I showed you everything that I'd been using for the last 3 weeks. So I've got a foundation, so I don't need to pull a foundation, but I will need a primer. I'm just wondering what to use though. I don't know. See, I pulled a dewy foundation, so I don't want to be too dewy, and it hasn't been that long since I used the Sephora one. I guess it's gonna have to be that's the only like silicone based one I've got. So yeah, we'll pull that again. It's just a smoothing primer. So I don't need foundations, but this is where all my foundations live. I might actually pull this as well for the hotter days. It's a Rimmel BB cream 9-in-1, so we'll pull that as well. Oh yeah, this is what I want to use. I mean, I've just put a video up about all this, so I won't talk about it too much. In that video I just talk about how I depotted all of my Tarte blushes, which was a bit of a nightmare but very worth it. I love the way it's turned out. And then also I've got my Benefit box blushes, which was really easy to depot, and then a Freedom Pro Artist highlight. So yes, definitely pull in this fortnight. I did want to pull this, maybe I'll pull that next time, and that as well, that hasn't even been used yet, so we'll leave that dry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this. I have put like a contour shade in here, but I think it's too light. So I'm going to pull this as well, and if I don't like it, I'll just get rid of the contour shade and keep the palette for something else. Nothing from that drawer. Those are the other two blushes that I want to put in a palette with all the other Tarte blushes, so I'm not going to use that yet. Nothing from that drawer, and nothing from that drawer. I'm not going to pull any lipsticks yet because I'm still testing out the lipsticks that I pulled. So we need to pull some powders because obviously these need to go back somewhere, and I don't know where. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm definitely going to be pulling this e.l.f. one. I still don't know what my thoughts are on it, and it's the high definition under eye setting powder, so we'll pull that one for my under eyes. I don't want a loose setting powder this time. I think I'm going to pull a pressed powder. Oh, I forgot about this one. It is Wet n Wild, and there's huge controversy, so I may as well use it. I've heard good things about it. I don't even think I've used it. It's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus in Natural Beige. So I'm going to try this, and obviously if it's no good I will declutter it. I don't really like using Wet n Wild just because of all the controversy around it. I don't even think all this stuff's going to fit. Oh, come on. Got way too many powders. Right, so that's that. So now where am I going to put this Laura Mercier one? That might just have to lie there on top. Right, so bronzers. Do I need? I think I'll need a couple. So I want to test this Kiko one out. It is a blush. It's a Rebel Bouncy Blush in 01 Velvet Blush, but on me it will be bronzer. It's more like a cream bronzer, so I'm going to test that out, and if I don't like it I will declutter it, and then I'll use this one as well. It's the Bourjois Delicia de Powder. It's just like a chocolate bar bronzer, so I want to test that out as well. So that's enough for bronzers too. Highlighters. Right, so I want to test this out just because it reminds me so much of this one. I swatched them yesterday, and this one is slightly more golden and this one is slightly more pink, but I want to see what it looks like on the skin. This one was only £2.50, and we know how expensive the MAC highlighters are. I'm not saying MAC highlighters aren't worth the money. I have only got 2 though, so I'm not the best judge. But yeah, I really like this one especially. So yeah, let's pull that one. What else are we pulling? Shall we pull a couple of these e.l.f. ones as well, because I've not really had a lot of use out of them. This one is in the shade Moonlight Pearls. Sounds like I'm losing my voice now, great. And then this one's slightly darker and is in the shade in Blush Gems. So we've got 3 highlighters there. I kind of want to pull this one as well. Peaches and Cream, and it's just a strobing powder in Halo. So yeah, that's enough, because I've got one highlighter in the palette, and I'm pulling a deck of Scarlet, and that might have a highlighter that I can use. So now just leave them there. Right, blushes. Even though I've pulled that palette, I want to test some blushes, and this is one of them, one of the ones I want to test, and it's by So Susan. I've had it a while, and it's just a universal blush, and it looks quite glowy, so I do want to test that one out. What else? What am I thinking about decluttering? I keep coming back to these 2 by Natural Collection. So we've got Sweet Cheeks, and then we've got this one, and this one is in the shade Rosy Glow, so I'll pull them 2 as well. I'm not going to pull any more, just because obviously I've got quite a lot of blush options there now, and I've also got that Sunkissed palette as well, if I want to use that, which I don't think I'll have time to use it unless I run for 3 weeks again. There's not even enough room for all my blushes to go into the container. This NARS one, I don't know where that's going to go. I'm dying to pull this, but I'm actually using a setting spray at the moment. Now, from the couple of times I've used it, I've not actually been that impressed with it. I mean, this is rated all over the place on YouTube, and luckily I managed to find it in Boots for £8 and not £16. But I didn't like it that much, you know. I thought it was going to be one of those, you know, really good products that I'd be bowled over by, but I guess not. Right, did I want to pull anything from here? I put all my singles in here. I just think this looks better than in those individual containers. So this drawer is looking a little bit different. What used to be in this drawer is my eyeshadow palettes, like my bigger eyeshadow palettes, but they're in the next drawer down, and then I've just got my smaller palettes here. I'm just thinking, did I want to pull anything? I don't think so. Oh yeah, it was this one that I wanted to pull. I think it was the Deuce, or was it this one, the Zulu? I like them both, you know. I'm just going to pull this one though, I think, this time. And I think that has to be it. Just because I am pulling another palette. So yeah, this is what my drawer looks like now. This is all my bigger palettes. I've kind of like just shoved them all in, and then I've got all my Makeup Revolution ones here, like all these up until, like, where is it? I forget again. All these palettes here up until that Sofx one I haven't even touched, I haven't played with, so I couldn't give you a review on them even if I wanted to. So I do need to start using them a hell of a lot more. I think that's it. Okay, so the Deck of Scarlet one I've gone with is another Kristen Leanne palette. I absolutely adore this. I've said this in the Deck of Scarlet videos that I did. I really like that limoncello colour there, so I can't wait to play with that. And tan lines, I don't know if that bronzer is going to be suitable for me. So yeah, this is everything that I've chosen for this next fortnight. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe if you've not already subscribed, and hit that notifications bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Right, so I forgot to tell you what we are absolutely looking like. So instead of the Sephora primer, I've decided to use this one, and it's the Mally Perfect Prep Poreless Primer. And then for foundations, the Bourjois City Radiance and the Rimmel BB Cream. These lipsticks will be getting used a little bit more, but I'll probably pull some more in next week. Then we've got the palettes, the Deck of Scarlet and Kristen Leanne palette there, the Juvia's Place, the Douce by Juvia's there, the Too Faced Semi-Sweet palette there, and I've decided to keep this in just because I did get some use out of it, but not as much as I would have liked, and I do want to use that Snapdragon blusher a little bit more. And then the drawers aren't looking as full as normal. I don't know if you would agree, but it's looking like there's barely anything, and considering those two stay the same all the time anyway. And then we've got all my blushes and highlights here. Then those two blushes are going to be going out once I've used them. Then we've got the highlight there, bronzers here, the Wet n both powders there. These have stayed the same for a few months now. I do need to get some more use out of them. And then this has stayed the same as well, so I'm hoping to use this with the Kristen Leanne palette, because it actually came with a Kristen Leanne palette, so hoping to use that. And then we've got palettes at the back, this Tarte one with the contour shading, and then this one with all my blushes in that I want to use this coming fortnight. And then we've got that one there if I get to it, but I don't think I will. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I've said this before about this. This was so inexpensive. It's by Sunkissed, and look at those two. Well, look at all the blushes in this set. Do they not just remind you of the Benefit Box blushes, but a cheaper alternative? But yeah, that's what that looks like. I will try it out and compare it against the Benefit ones that I do have, and let you know about formulas and things like that. This just never gets used. I keep it in constantly. I keep it in that little rack constantly, and it just never gets used. I've taken a couple of eyeshadows out of like a magnetic palette, just because I was thinking, I'll just tell you about this now, this Zed palette. Right, so I'm just going to quickly talk about this and put it in the same Shop My Stash video. As I was saying earlier about this Zed palette, magnetic palette, I want to have all my Tarte blushes in the one palette, and it just wasn't working for me without having to get rid of some Benefit blushes, and we all know how expensive they are. There is a space for a few more things in here which I like. So this is what it's looking like, and I do actually like it. I wish the Tarte blushes and the Benefit blushes would have all fit, but maybe when I use them up I can kind of revert back to the plan that I had in the beginning. But I'm not too mad at this. I think it looks quite nice, and I've also been able to put the Pro Artist contour shade in there as well with the highlighter. So that's in this week's Shop My Stash, this fortnight should I say. And then I've put all the Tarte blushes in here, and it just looks amazing. So the new ones, I'll just talk you through them. The new ones is this lighter pink here. and I think it was either that shade or that shade, I can't remember. I think it was that shade, which was one of the newer ones as well, and that was out of that palette. I've completely dismantled it. Look at the state of that. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to use the eyeshadows out of it yet, and I've also put this highlighter in from PS Beauty Primark. I think it's in the shade, what shade is it? It's in the shade Mint Pink. I wasn't getting any use out of that, and it's quite bulky packaging, as you can see. It is quite bulky, and I've got a lot of highlighters in my drawer, so I just thought I would put that there. And I've also got one in Brunch Money, I think, so I think I'll put that there as well. That was quite easy to depot. The hardest blushes I've found to depot are the Thai blushes. Let's just show you. So, and this one, it came in plastic, and obviously it had a closure, so I had to put like a little screwdriver in between that closure. Let me just show you properly, and just wiggle the plastic, and eventually the glue broke free, but I was worried about breaking the blushes. If I would have brought the blushes, I would have been quite upset, especially the pink blush. Like that quad, that quad there, I quite like, so I think I will depot them and put them in this palette here, this type palette, and try and get a bit more use out of them. Otherwise I'm just wasting my money, but I don't really see it as, like I've said in previous videos, I don't see it as a waste, as obviously I've got the blushes out of it now and they weren't getting used, the eyeshadows weren't getting used. I don't really go in for all these darker shades, but I might depot them all and just see if I use them, try and kind of force myself to use them, because I haven't really played around with those like purple dark smoky eyeshadows that much, so I do want to give them a chance. But yeah, I just wanted to finish talking to you about the magnetic palettes, and obviously they will both go in my Shop My Stash for this fortnight, and I will tell you what I thought about them and everything when I come back next fortnight. Thank you so much for watching. I know this video has been long and a bit all over the place, but as I was talking about it before and we got cut off due to the memory card being full, I did want to come back and show you what I'd done. And to actually remove the glue off this palette, all I did is put it over this candle here. Everyone says do it with a lighter. I've tried it with the lighter and it just takes forever, so I feel like a candle burns it a lot quicker. And as you can see, it's quite, there was a little bit of paper on there as well. I'm lucky I didn't set my house on fire. But yeah, really like the fact that I've not broken any of these blushes and they look so pretty in this palette. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using these blushes. I have got way too many blusher options for this fortnight, but you can't have enough in my mind. And yeah, that's it for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye.